What is going on, everybody? This is Casa Games. Welcome to another Manor Lords tutorial. This is going to be everything you need to know on fuel and logging in the game. So you are going to need timber to do anything in this game construction-wise, that is building your houses, building logging camps themselves, and all of the other buildings in the game. You're going to need timber. You're also going to need it for planks. Planks are extremely useful for leveling up some things and also like building your church and your manor. You're going to need planks. Weapons, you're going to need planks. So it's very, very handy to have those, and the timber obviously for construction. So let's start at the root of it. We're going to go right here to the logging camp. And this is one of my 2 logging camps, I believe. Yep, I got them both here. This is a maxed out town. This is a large town, as big as you can get them in the game. So this is going to be a really good example of how like your end game should start to look. So first of all, as you can see, both my logging camps only have 1 family. There's really no need to have more than 1 family in the logging camps unless you're just wanting to maximize efficiency here. And as you can see, these logging camps will take out the nearest tree to them, and they work almost in a circular pattern because eventually you end up with this big circle of trees that is just gone. And these are all trees that my forester that we're going to talk about later has replanted. There will be a large circle that is going to be demolished, and all these trees in this area are going to be cut down. So if we click the logging camp here and we go to advanced, we can assign an oxen to this area. The workers themselves, the family dedicated to the logging camp, will not be hauling with this oxen. It is used by a forester or your free families. So next thing we look at here is this unlimited work area. We can actually click this limit work area button, and we use our control and mouse wheel, and we can scroll up and decide how big of a circle we want them to work in. Now obviously it can be absolutely massive. They will never reach out to this area. It just takes too much time. These trees are going to grow up in the time it takes them to reach this outer border. It's just not going to make a ton of sense. So I leave mine to unlimited, and as you can see, that's about the size of the circle they're going to work, which isn't bad. But be mindful when you're placing your logging camp and your lodge and everything, if you delete the trees or cut down the trees around your wild animals or berries, these resources will disappear. You will lose them. These wild animals will bounce around. They will try to get away from the logging, and your hunters are going to have a harder time reaching them if your hunting camp is, let's say, here, and your animals have been bounced to the outskirts of your realm. Just watch it. I like to keep my logging on the other side where I know my loggers are not going to, as you can see, they've kind of pushed into this area, but this circle for the wild animals is not very big, so we haven't bothered them. Next, each logging camp is going to hold a total of 28 logs. These logs are not stored anywhere else in the game. They do not go to the storehouse. They do not go to the granary. They are not stored anywhere. The only place that they are possibly stored at is going to be your sawmill or your saw pit. Right here, as you can see, log storage, they can hold 1 apiece. So it's not a ton of storage at all. It's basically just getting them the materials to turn into planks. If you are wanting to stock up on timber, the way you can do this is by building multiple logging camps, but only putting a family in 1 or 2 of them, however many you need. The extra logging camps that are unmanned will still be used as storage for your timber. So, like I said, the family that actually works the logging camp doesn't do anything when it comes to oxen. They don't touch those animals. As you can see, this person right here, I believe, will be one of our foresters, guiding an ox. Yep. So on the topic of logs, if we go over here to the saw pit, like I said, the saw pit is huge for advancing in this game. You need it for weapons, you need it for your church, you need it for your manor, which collects your regional wealth and your personal wealth. Now, I have found that one of these saw pits is very handy. I haven't needed any more, and like I said, this is a large town. I have 234 people living in this town, and I have a surplus of planks. I have 1,000 of them. So you'd only need 1 saw pit. Over time, it's going to work. And I only have 1 family in here. You can have multiple, but I don't believe your people are needing the planks. I think the market stall, I don't know what it's used for, honestly, with this family. So let's talk about this. We can assign an ox, and that will help this family gather these logs faster. And there's not an ox available, they'll have one because it's a permanent assignment. So you can do that if you want. I have a ton of oxen. I have 9 of them, and all of them are unassigned. My place runs beautifully. So let's talk about this little option right here, the construction reserve. Now, I don't know why this is set to 0. I always have this set to 28. Now, the reason you do this is telling the saw pit, don't use any logs until we get to 28. When we get to 30, you're allowed to use 2 logs. When we get to 38, you're allowed to use 10. Now, I have found they still manage to pull a log here and there, but it does slow it down. It does slow down the production of it a good bit until you get over that amount that you are setting it at. And I keep it at 28 just so that I have plenty of room to build. You know, if I want to come in here and build 10 houses or whatever, I can, and I have extra. Let's talk about fuel in the game. Fuel, you're going to start getting it with these woodcutters lodges. Now, I keep one family in these. I believe I have another one right here. Another family in there. Yeah, so you can man up multiple families. I like to build multiple camps because they have access to other areas that have new trees. Now, the reason I do that is because woodcutters themselves chop down a tree. It is, I figured they would have done like the debranching would count as logging, or the fuel, either firewood, but that's not the case. They will chop down a tree and you will see them start from the top as it's down and work their way towards the base, and then that tree is gone. They get multiple harvests out of every log that they chop, so it is a much slower chopping rate than the logging camp, but they still chop down their own trees. I do like to have multiple camps, and as you can see, this forester is like out planting the woodcutter because it does take them so long to go through a single tree. So if you do go into your tech tree, you can unlock the charcoal burning. I highly recommend this. I get this in almost every town that I have. It is super handy. Your charcoal is another fuel. Your people don't care whether it is going to be your wood or the charcoal. They're going to use either one, and they're interchangeable because in the game it counts as only fuel. So as you can see right here, I'm clicking on a burgage plot. Here's my fuel straw supply. This is a level 3 home. It only needs 1 fuel. So that is charcoal or firewood. So the charcoal kilns are significantly more efficient. They are 200%, meaning I put in 1 firewood and I get 2 charcoal. So if you are wanting to 100% maximize the efficiency on these buildings, for every 1 woodcutter family, have 2 charcoal families. Meaning if I have a fully stocked woodcutter's lodge, I have 3 families in here. Meaning I need 2 charcoal kilns with 6 families total to hit 100% efficiency. Meaning every firewood is getting turned into charcoal. And not every firewood is going to. There is going to be a little bit of a gap there because your firewood family is still going to want to sell their firewood at the market. So you are going to miss out on a little bit of efficiency, but that is the way that you can get as close as possible to 100%. Last but not least, this is probably the most important one, is going to be your forester's hut. Your forester's hut, you can build and put a family in there, and that family will go about and plant these trees. As you can see, these are not shrubs or bushes. These are trees that will grow up. And here's one getting chopped down. But they will grow up. They will supply your logging camp and woodcutter's lodge. So I keep 1 family apiece in here. As you can see, I do have 2 of them. Now, the neat part about the forester's hut is that they will go and lead an oxen whenever it comes to anything with timber. They will go grab an oxen and haul it themselves. So as you can see, here is the forester leading the oxen to the logging camp. So if we go to these forester's hut and click on the people, we can see what they are doing. These 2 are planting. This guy's transporting probably some food of some sort. Let's go to this one. Fetching water, planting spots. Okay, so they are not, none of them are leading oxen right now, but as you can see, they were just leading oxen. This does come in handy. As you know, you need 1 family for construction and leading oxen for everything else. But if you have an oxen assigned to, you know, a logging camp or whatever, the foresters are going to go grab that, and that's going to leave your 1 extra family, your unassigned family, to work on all the construction and so on, and not be tied up moving around timber, which is super, super handy. I don't know for sure if the foresters will haul timber out to the town or if they just bring it to the logging camp. I'll have to sit here and watch it for a little bit. But they have a couple extra oxen waiting for them, or assign them to the logging camp itself so that your foresters have easy access to them. Now, if you're brand new to the game and you don't even know how to get oxen, you go over here to your stable or your hitching post is what you'll start out with. I recommend building one or building a second one as soon as you get in here. Here's a hitching post. This is what it's going to look like. Build your second one immediately. Buy your oxen immediately. And the way you buy extra oxen is you click on the hitching post or the small stable, and you go to, oh, no, you go right here. Order another ox, and it's going to cost you 20 regional wealth, which you start with 30 to start the game. So you can order one of these immediately. Now, horses and donkeys have nothing to do with construction or hauling timber. Horses do your trading posts, and donkeys do your packing stations. So these are not handy when it comes to hauling timber. Only your oxen will be used to haul timber. So that is your ultimate guide to logging and fuel in Manor Lords. If this video helped you out at all or you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm a small channel. It helps me out a ton. I'll be posting a lot more of these tutorials as I learn the game and I watch some other stuff that gets me some more information. I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps your town out a ton, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.